Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reisch, and this is Crime Talk, the most fact-driven, unbiased, true crime channel. We have a very short docket today. Why is the affidavit for an arrest warrant in the Barry Morphew matter not being released? Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reisch, and this is Crime Talk. Now, this video is going out to all the aficionados, but we're putting it up first to our Patreon members. We're going to put that up Tuesday night because I'm not going to be able to do a Tuesday night Patreon live. So this is my apology to you. Everybody else will give it to you the following day. All right, let's get straight to the docket. As we all know, Barry Morphew has been charged with the disappearance and alleged homicide of Suzanne Morphew, his wife. Barry Morphew is now awaiting a preliminary hearing, and the issue at hand is, when is the public going to get an opportunity to review the affidavit for the arrest warrant? In this particular situation, the court was asked by the media to release the affidavit under the general premise that the public has a right to know. The press has a right to know. I am in that camp. Well, the court followed the defense's lead in this particular situation and is not going to release the affidavit just yet. Now, the court does give some interesting information regarding this affidavit. I'm not going to go through the complete legal analysis, but we'll cut straight to the chase. First of all, we know it is a 130-page affidavit, and the court notes that this is the lengthiest and most detailed affidavit the court has ever seen in their almost 30 years of experience with criminal cases. That says something. This judge was a public defender prior to being appointed to the bench. I don't think I've ever seen a 130-page affidavit either. It apparently includes a lot of information that is not relevant to the court's finding of probable cause, and also there's a lot of information in there that's not admissible under the rules of evidence. So the court gives a little bit of an example of all of that information and then redacts it, so we don't get to see what that is just yet. Now, the court also noted that the defense was just beginning their investigation, and a release of that information in the affidavit for arrest warrant could hamper Mr. Morphew's ability to effectively prepare for the case. Now, the second substantial interest in the prevention of the release of the affidavit for the arrest warrant is a concern about harassment, abuse, or intimidation of victims Mallory and Macy Morphew, the children. The court says they have a right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity. These young women are in an unimaginable situation and should be given time to process what has occurred and the time to review or decide not to review the evidence against their father. The court states that a general release of the affidavit at this time would not give the victims, Mallory and Macy Morphew, the opportunity to make their decision and process what they learn, especially considering the youngest daughter still resides in the small community of Salida. I've never seen a court do this before, but we have to give the court some discretion here because they are talking about a small town of Salida. And in this particular case, there's probably a lot of speculation, innuendo, and just flat out falsehoods that were probably sent to the police, and they probably documented every detail, what they did, what was alleged, and what they did to investigate it. The court also goes on to state that no less restrictive means exist to keep the affidavit suppressed in its entirety. They state that redaction of the 130-page document will be a time-consuming process and one the court cannot meaningfully complete without the input and involvement of both parties who are currently involved in the early stages of these proceedings. What does that mean? That it will be released, but it will be heavily redacted, and it's going to be basically agreed to or with the prosecutor as well as the defense in this particular case. Somewhat unusual as well. I'm not exactly sure why the court thinks so, but apparently there must be something in there. Now understand, obviously the court has to protect the balancing act of the people's right to know, as well as making sure that the defendant, and in this case, Mr. Barry Morphew, receives a fair trial. The court also notes one of the reasons why they're suppressing this affidavit from public view is that this matter has been going on for a little over a year now, and it consists of numerous witnesses and circumstantial evidence. Thus, witness credibility will be at a premium, and the risk of such harassment and intimidation, coupled with the preliminary nature of the investigatory report, supports suppression so as to maintain the integrity and the efficiency of the investigation during the early stages of the proceedings. And so ultimately the court is going to suppress the affidavit at this time and basically agrees that this is an unusual case. And one of the main reasons is that apparently there is considerable information that isn't going to be admissible in court, and it could be used to basically taint these proceedings. And nobody wants an unfair trial for anybody. We don't work that way in the United States. So don't get me wrong. I want to see this affidavit just as much as anyone. 130 pages. I would love to get my hands on it, but we have to do it the correct way. And because we give everyone the presumption of innocence here at Crime Talk, we have to do it correctly and make sure everybody gets a fair trial. So the attorneys are going to have a lot of work ahead of them when they should be conducting investigation. They're going to be working on redacting a 130-page affidavit. And as the court stated, and as I have never seen an affidavit that long. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope this is a quick video. Hopefully you guys will accept my apology for our Patreon members. That's why you're getting this ahead of time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Crime Talk.